I'll start first by saying Nicholls' good football team, and they played unbelievably hard. Have a lot of respect for how they approach the game, the way their kids play. You can tell it's a program, probably a lot like ours. That kids are developed, they grow up from freshmen and work their way through it, and that's why they play so hard. And so, have nothing but praise for them. They gave us a heck of a time today. There's a lot of things that we can continue to improve and learn from during this game, but fortunate to get the win and move on into the playoffs. So I'll open it up with questions right now.
Safeties, Tutsy and Hendricks, is that something you had a game plan, or did they just make plays, or just both those interceptions?
Well, both the interceptions, Coach Braun put us in a kind of a split safety coverage, and we were kind of rerouting five. We knew that we probably didn't have a corner that was as good as him, and so we needed to get a safety over the top of him, and that's what happened both times. One time we were in single high, the other time we were in split safety coverage, the second one, and we had a corner reroute and the safety get over the top, and I don't think we haven't played a whole lot of that coverage throughout the year, and I don't think the quarterback recognized it pre-snap, and it was a great play and big momentum builder, especially in the second half there.
Another big play today, Coach, was your first touchdown. You ran a reverse. Talk about the block that Trey threw, and he was looking for somebody else to block downfield too.
Well, Trey's looking to do whatever he can, and sometimes it's probably a little too much out there. But you got to respect that. That's something that we just threw in there, a little wrinkle that we thought would be good. Having some extra time to prepare for a playoff game, trying to keep people on their toes and not just show them all our traditional run game, but come out with some different stuff.
Coach, when you guys got going in the second half, did you change anything schematically, or was it just executing a little bit?
Well, we needed to execute a little bit better. I thought early, we weren't very good on early downs defensively. We were in a lot of 2nd and 2, 2nd and 3, 3rd and 1s. That was frustrating. I thought our tackling was subpar probably early in the game. We did better of late. A couple little things that Coach Braun and the staff did, just adjusting some pressures, adjusting the coverage, the kind of split safety coverage became a bigger part of what we did. So they did a great job of making the adjustments, and our kids do a wonderful job of adapting to those adjustments and paying attention.
On like 14-10 at halftime, do you feel like you left some points out there in the first half?
I know we did. Yeah, we left a bunch out there probably today. Red zone wasn't real good, and so we got to continue. So we're going to continue to work it. We work it almost every day, and we'll keep working it. But we got to be better in the red zone. We got to finish with touchdowns.
Coach, what about special teams today? You had favorable field position on your returns, and your coverage was good.
Well, you can't
too.
have penalties, and that takes away the favorable field position. So once again, we got to do a better job moving our feet and grabbing less cloth.
Griffin Crosa was not playing today?
Griffin violated team rules, and when you decide to make decisions based on yourself and become selfish, then you're not going to play for us. And so this program's based on Bison pride and a brotherhood, and so I'm more frustrated with him today than I am with Will Cardinal.
Will missed a couple of field goals, missed the extra point.
Will got put in a tough non-scholarship walk-on. He did a great job.
It seemed like early in the game, 4K was able to, he made some big plays. What were some of those adjustments as the game went on?
Well, you saw the pick was we had a corner reroute, we got a safety over the top. Five's a pretty special football player now. I'm not taking anything away from him. He won the 50-50 balls, and that was something that we stressed all week long. So we just needed to play better. And, we were able to do some things from a schematic standpoint that took away Five, especially when he was to the single receiver side.
The tackling become a concern because a big back in Southern Illinois, it seems there's some issues, and then another big back today, or is it something?
That's why people play big backs, I think. I don't know if it's – I'm not concerned right now. That's one of the positives of having a big back. We've had some big backs in our times here. We know teams struggle to tackle a big guy.
Injury, do you know?
Shoulders, all I know right now. I haven't sat down with any of our medical people. I'll find out hopefully later today.
To have a game of this magnitude where it's that close early till the fourth quarter, how does that help this team going forward to have a game like that?
Well, I think it's always good to have some setbacks and some adjustments that need to be made. That keeps our guys sharp. We just need to play better. We need to start faster. And sometimes, I don't know if was it a lack because we didn't play a game last week. I don't know. I'm not going to create excuses. We got to be ready to go when the game starts. I was frustrated. We had a big play, the first play of the game, and then we kind of stall out on that series. And we just never got into a rhythm until later in the second half.
How long is Griffin's suspension?
Just one game.
One game.
Can a win be frustrating?
There's no such thing as a bad win. Nice try.
Coach, last week with how well Nicholls ran the ball, was there an extra emphasis in practice this week on stopping the run?
Yep. Yeah, we did. We knew that if we could make them one-dimensional, we didn't think, or we thought we'd have a really good chance of winning the football game. And later in the game, we got them into some scenarios when they got down by more than a touchdown, where they started to have to throw the football. And we could do some things from a schematic standpoint, trying to show pressure, bail into coverage, and make them think they could throw some man routes into some zones, and we did a nice job. He's a really good football player. He's competitive as all get out. He reminds me of the guys we have playing safety, just a football player. And I have a ton of respect for him, and a ton of respect for how they play the game.
A little too excited early. He missed the throwing the flag to Luke early. I think he had.
I think he tried to take a little bit off it late. I think he was going to fire it at him, and then, just one of those deals. I wish we could have it back, but we'll move on.
Your young guys have a playoff game under their belt now. It was new for a bunch of guys on your team.
I was worried about me having a playoff game under my belt. So, no, I am excited. We've had some flu going around, so we dressed a whole bunch of guys. We had to pull them off. So there's always little things that you got to deal with, especially going into the playoffs when you only have 64. But our kids continue to stay locked in, be focused. There's always things that we could continue to improve on. They know that, and we're going to point them out on Monday.
You never talk about the streak, but this is your 34th victory in a row, which sets an FCS record. Can you comment on that?
The fact that we went 1-0 this week was great. Yeah. Come on, Mike, I'm not talking about it. You know that. You've been around me long enough now. It's good for NDSU. It's good for NDSU. It's good for the football program in general. Good for, I hope, it gets out in the media and our logos everywhere. But it only helps us in recruiting and everything like that.
Specific with Watson, or was it just kind of a game plan thing? He was held without a catch, Christian Watson.
Yeah, no, I think they got some really good corners. When they had both 42 and 24 in the game, they're going to play a bunch of man, and then you saw after, I think, was it 40 or 24, one of the corners got removed from the game. Then they started to get into more too high, and I think they started to be concerned about, some and goes or the vertical game, taking tops off. But we took some shot. You wish you could go back, and it was probably a play of inches, that one in the end zone. A little more air in the ball. It's probably a touchdown, and then we're have a different narrative.
Were you chewing your fingernails when Jabril got called for the targeting and then it got reversed?
I was just making sure that we had our personnel. I mean, Michael Tutsi was going to get ready to play outside backer, and we were going to move on. Kudos to our defensive staff for, against South Dakota, coming up with that, because it always comes back. You're always going to need those things and those valuable reps when a situation like this occurs, or potentially could have occurred.
Anybody else hurt today?
Not that I know. I think maybe nothing besides typical football, ankle sprains, bumps and bruises.
For a large dose of James Robinson next week.
I think we were ready the first time, and we anticipated the first time that it was going to be a large dose. I think someone told me as I was walking in here, he had 37 carries again today, 80 carries over the course of the last two games. So the game's probably going to be played in between the hashes. We can anticipate that.
Is Kobe Johnson, is he potentially in the mix?
Practiced a couple days this week, and then late in the week we decided just to hold him out and make sure that he's healthy. He had kind of a concussion, and not anything I'm going to mess around with. You're talking about a young man's future and livelihood. Look, better safe than sorry. We have ample people to play the game for us.
Reverse. You got a nice block in there. That had to be so much fun for you.
Yeah, they gave me a hard time all week about not being able to block the guy. Rep it in practice. I'm glad I did my job. He did a good job too.
Like you took a lot of razzing this week.
Yeah. They like give me a hard time, but it's a good thing.
At halftime, you felt like you left some points on the field.
Yep. I think you guys can see what missed a couple throws. We're just gonna be better next week.
James, describe the interception. Was it something you were hoping the ball was going there, or was it something you thought they might go at that point?
The thing with that is they ran that play probably 3 times before, and I didn't get there on either of them. So, they on the touchdown, big play in the first quarter, and then Marquise's pass interference. It's all the same play, and I was too slow on it, so I just told them if I get another chance, I'm gonna be there. And luckily they did it again. And I was just able to go there, and Keith's forced him inside instead of forcing him outside. So I didn't have to cover so much ground and was able to make the play.
You told me you did that. How much do you think that changed momentum when you made that play?
I think it was big. I think Tut's interception was big. I think my interception was big. Derek's sack. I mean, when we can change the possession like that, and then our offense can put points on the board, I mean, that's just football right there. We need to do that every single game.
After they didn't call targeting on Jabril, how big was it for you guys to realize that he was going to stay in the game? Then I saw you kind of turn to the West crowd, pump him up, and try and get the energy up. How big was that entire sequence?
That was huge. I mean, when Jabril maybe went out, we were just trying to figure out what we were going to do, and I was just talking to the coaches what our game plan was going to be from there. And then when Jabril didn't get kicked out, I was just like, we got to use this. And I was just really excited for the opportunity that we got Jabril back, and he got a free 30 minutes really, and just able to make the play after that.
Trey, what changed for you in the second half?
I mean, we didn't throw the ball a whole lot. I was still confident in throwing it, so I think we could have, but we didn't need to. Offensive line dominated, just kind of bleeding them out, running them down, especially to end the game. Was big on that scoring drive. So offensive line, running backs kind of took over in the second half, and just I didn't really have to do a whole lot.
Playoff game feel different, and are you good to have it under your belt now and that you got it out of the way? Or
It was about the same. Maybe a little more like on social media and everything, from media-wise with you guys, but not a whole lot different. From our standpoint, we kept everything the same.
Was the first half a little frustrating? I mean, you guys run that move to you, first play of the game, you run a guy over, you had to feel like, all right, let's go, and then it sort of halted a little bit there.
Yeah, the momentum kind of was up and down throughout the whole first half. We really didn't get anything going just consistently, and so that's kind of frustrating as an offense. The energy and things like that are kind of up and down, and so just being able to stick to what we do in the second half and just pound the football, run power, things like that, and it worked, and it obviously was successful for us in the second half. So.
Can you speak to the mentality of the offense on the sideline in a situation like that? Trey's leadership, how he continues to lead the huddle, even with a little bit of adversity, something you guys haven't really faced a ton this year.
Right. Honestly, it's probably a good thing that we had that adversity, and so we know that when that happens, just being ourselves and buys in and just keeping our cool is the biggest thing. Things are going to happen throughout a game of football, momentum-wise, and so being able to stay calm, cool, and collected as an offense is important on the sidelines, and just taking what the defense gives us when we get out there. So.
It was a frustration early. I think you had one to Luke in the flat where you kind of left it short and one bent over the middle, like he was kind of open. For you, was that frustrating to kind of miss on some opportunities that it seems like you usually hit on?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can imagine when you don't make plays you should make, and you have made. Yeah, obviously I was a little frustrated, but at the same time, I think I've done a good job this year, and the guys in the huddle have done a good job of just reminding me, next play mentality. Nothing you can do. I throw the ball on the ground in front of Hunter for a touchdown. Throw it high over Ben's head, would have been a touchdown. So I think definitely left a lot of points out there, but at the same time, I don't think it really changed my mentality.
Spoke to the momentum swing from his interception. Can you, from the offensive side, what's that feel like to then take the ball over and feel that buzz, that electricity?
Yeah, with that field position, we're thinking we got to score every time, and defense did a great job again. 13 points. It's hard to lose a game when they only let up 13 points. So they did a great job. Tut, Josh, Keese, and Jimmy obviously just making those plays just changes the whole game.
James, you talked to you're still playing another week in the quarterfinals. The 10th year in a row this program is in the Final Eight.
That's the goal every year. But I mean, it's just a testament to where we've come as a program and where we are right now. And it's just a big day to get another week. We talked as a team. We were just like, we only got one more guaranteed opportunity left, and if we play well and the results favor us, we're going to get another one. So we got to go in with that mentality again, that we only got one more guaranteed opportunity with this 2019 Bison team. So if we just got to keep making the most of every opportunity we get together.
Trey, they held Christian without a catch. Were they doing anything specific to take him away? Do you feel like maybe you missed him on a few, or what did they succeed with taking away Watson?
I missed him on the first one. The first deep shot, underthrew him a little bit, didn't get the ball quick enough. But I don't know if he had any other targets other than that. So I don't know. I wouldn't say that they locked him down or anything. Still super tough dude to guard, especially in man coverage. But just concepts were a little different this week. Didn't take shots to him. I don't think it was anything they were doing.
Ben, It's lost in the shuffle, but this is you guys' 34th straight win, which sets an FCS record. Can you comment what that means? And
It's just kind of like what James said. It's just a testament to the program. So, you know, and we're not doing anything special or different than teams before us have done. And so, just continuing to do what we do as Bison is the most important thing. And you know, it's pretty cool to be a part of it. But it's something that we're not, I guess, looking at right now. You know, we're looking at it next week. You know, and preparing for that. And so that might sound cliche, but it is what it is. And so, yeah.
James, you're probably going to get about 40 looks at James Robinson next week. Illinois State won today, so they're coming up here. So you've seen him before, but you're going to get a big dose of him.
Yeah, he's a really good player, and you know, there's a physical team. It's Valley football, and it's what we did all year, and we got to get ready for another physical game. And yeah, James Robinson is a really good football player, but you know, we got a lot of good football players too. So it's going to take a group effort on both sides of the ball.
To have a game like this early on in the playoffs where it's close to the fourth quarter going forward?
You know, we can use it in the future. I mean, we only got so many opportunities left, so every game's going to be close. Margin for error in the playoffs is so much slimmer than what it was in the regular season. Every team's good. There's a reason why we're going into the quarterfinals. I mean, there's only 8 teams left, so margin for error is low. And, you know, going into the fourth quarter, we know what Bison football is going to take over, our physicality, and we're going to wear teams down. So, but, you know, we just got to play better, to be honest with you, and I don't know if it's a really good thing to get into these situations when we only got a couple left.